Hey guys, welcome back to obscure, well, sort of obscure toy lines from the 70s, 80s, 90s, and today. And this is episode 27, so I've got another 6 or 7 toys coming at you that are pretty obscure. So we're going to start off with one that I actually saw on an episode of The Toy Hunter that used to be on the Travel Channel. This is the Zero M Sonic Blaster by Mattel from 1964. So the Sonic Blaster makes 3 toy lists. It was obscure, it was dangerous for kids, and it had a future Hollywood leading man as one of the children in its advertisement. It's Kurt Russell. So this toy was a pump-action bazooka that when you pumped it, the bellows for the air chamber could fire a blast of air measuring 127 decibels. So this ruptured eardrums, this hit kids in the face, and even more dangerously is you could put actual things into the chamber like rocks and dirt and fire that as projectiles at kids. On the aftermarket, this is a sought-after toy now because it was a banned toy by Mattel and all of the consumer markets. Today, in good working order, these toys can go up to $800 in the buyer's market. In my personal opinion though, this thing looks amazing. I don't know, would you give up a little bit of hearing loss to have a toy like this? Farrah Fawcett's Glamour Center, Mego, 1977. So, fashion heads were a big craze, Barbie getting in on this with Mattel, but Mego also tried their hand with the very popular at the time, Farrah Fawcett. So it came with a 32-piece fashion accessory set makeup that your daughter or effeminate son could try on. You could fix the hair, cut the hair only one time, and play with all the accessories. And for those of you unfamiliar with the late Farrah Fawcett, she was one of Charlie's Angels. She had a hugely popular poster for sale where she wore a red bathing suit, and as well she was a model. Mystic Knights of Tiernan by Bandai, 1999. So these are toys based off the live-action Saturday morning television show, which was based off the Celtic mystic legends. So the show was produced by Saban, that's why you can see why they worked with Bandai for the toys, and it was out for 1 season on Fox Kids. It wasn't renewed and the toy line had 3 waves. So wave 1 was your standard 5-inch with vehicles, aka dragons and horses to ride. The second wave was the deluxe 8 inches, and then the third wave actually wasn't really released, called Battle Thunder. Considered one of the holy grail toy items, this is James Bond's Attache Case by Topper Toys from 1965. So this was a large and very impressive toy for any child, measuring 18 by 24 with a deep case set. It included all the items that any child spy wanting to be 007 needed, including the self-firing bullet case, a calling card, a billfold, your passport, 007 insignia, a hidden plastic blade, and of course, your toy gun. Now, of course, as a kid, being a 007 fan, I remember making my own attache case where I'd put my own toy gun, papers, little binoculars, what have you, into the Game Boy carrying case, and that was my attache case. So I mentioned that this is a holy grail toy for a lot of collectors, and you know, I'd be lying if I said I wasn't interested in it, but in doing this research, one recently sold in US currency for $6,957. Next up is Ruud Relf and a Breath Blaster by Axelon, 1986. So you get a little combo here because the commercial and the information are scarce. Another holy grail for the madball collector, this knockoff deluxe size madball had disgusting features, fuzzy hair, and a retractable eye on a ripcord. And from the same company, part of its gross out toys was the Breath Blaster, a disgusting silicone based shaped toy with a stinky water solution that you could spray on your friends. Together this was definitely a gross out duo. Pocket Rockers by Fisher-Price, 1988. So Pocket Rockers was a brand of personal stereo that was produced exclusively by Fisher-Price in the late 80s. It was aimed at elementary school children. It played a proprietary variety of miniature cassettes that kind of looked like 8-track tapes. The tapes played 2 songs in mono. The tapes were available with several pop artists including CCR, Bon Jovi, Whitney Houston, The Bangles, Tiffany, and Debbie Gibson. Even the design on the case was a statement to the fashion of the 1980s. You could get it in the standard black or white, but I mean, look at that color scheme. You can't go wrong with multicolor. Super Stinkers by Remco, 1992. So the Super Stinkers were tough to find any information. The most I saw a lot was rare and super rare on eBay and a lot of talking forums. But basically this was a squirt gun playing off the Super Soaker name, and you could take a small squirt bottle, picture something like a Mio squirter, and they each had proprietary flavors or smells that you would mix into the water and spray your friends. Those smells included spicy sour pickles, pepperoni pizza, smelly sneakers, buttered popcorn, smelly zoo, rotten fish, rip-in root beer, and stinky garbage. And that's going to do it for another episode of obscure, well, sort of obscure toy lines from the 70s, 80s, 90s, all the way up to today. As always, guys, I really appreciate you taking the time to click this video, watching it, and if you could like it, that would mean a lot to the channel. Also, in the comments, guys, if there's a toy line that I haven't covered yet, because we're almost at 300, please put it down in the comments. I'd love to cover it. I want to keep this toy line series going as long as possible. Thanks again for watching, guys. I'll see you in about a week and a half.